What's up guys, Chris here with another reveal video for you today. This is a product from CNC Innovations. You've probably seen them advertising all over social media, Facebook, Instagram. They're a company out of Malaysia specializing in CNC billet aluminum parts. From the first time I saw them, I went on the website to check out, see what they had for the DSM platform, and there were a couple of things that interested me, such as the center feed intake manifold and the valve cover setups. One of the coil on plug adapter plates that they make are for the R35 GTR coils, which I'm going to be using in this new setup here. And I liked the overall design of that plate. It looks like I'll be able to hide the plug wires underneath the way I want to, as opposed to a lot of the other plates that are out there. You're not able to hide the wires as nicely, in my opinion. Full disclosure, I went into this actually fully expecting not to receive any product at all, and for me to have just wasted the money and to not see it again. I was very skeptical about ordering, just because of the language barrier there, and the way that you have to order this stuff is, if you want something custom that isn't listed on the website, you put it in the notes during checkout in your order. And so I did that. I ordered a dry sump valve cover, and for the coil, for the plate that comes with the valve cover, you need to specify what you want the plate to be for which coils. So I specified that I did not want the vent holes on the top of the valve cover, and that I wanted the plate to be for R35 coils. There were also some concerns from people about lead times. They advertise a 4-week lead time, and I will say that from the day that I placed my order to the day that I got a shipping notification, it was 29 days. It shipped, it got to the US within 4 to 5 days, I want to say. It got held up in Tennessee in customs for about a week, which I expected. And after that, all was good, and I received it at my doorstep. So needless to say, I did not lose out on any money, and I got my product. So, the packaging maybe could have been a little bit better. They did wrap it in foam, but they just used filler in the box for the rest of it. Send you a little hat. I got my extra hardware that I need with some Loctite in a bag. Now, I've already looked at this, but you guys can see it today. I had it anodized red. See, the dry sump valve cover that they make is normally, it has 2 vent holes here, but I did not want that. I wanted to mimic what I currently have on here, which is no oil cap and no vent holes. They got the coil on plug plate correct for the R35 coils. I haven't test fitted anything yet, but it all looks, the anodizing is pretty nice, with the exception of cleanliness. It does not appear that they really cleaned it 100% when they anodized it. So I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but right here is a stain, an oil stain, that it wasn't completely cleaned. Yeah, the camera won't really pick it up. And then there's another one here, which, yeah, you can see that right there. So I'm really not too thrilled about that. They need to do a little bit better job prepping before they anodize. I don't know if it was an oil spot or if it was something, you know, the anodize was at its end of its life or something. I don't know quite thoroughly how anodizing works in that sense. So anybody want to chime in, they can speak up for that. Something I did notice, and it's really the only issue machine-wise that I've seen so far, is that the holes are threaded. And the holes that mount it to the head are threaded. So I'm gonna have to drill those out, make them clearance holes. Even the ones down in there. It's not the end of the world. For something like this, I almost kind of expected it. Something else to note about the quality. You can tell that they keep their tooling options to a minimum because the finish that they do on the radius here, maybe it's done with a ball ends, or maybe it's done with just a standard end mill. In my opinion, I think it's done with a standard end mill because of how they're going about shaping it. Just another way for them to keep costs low. I mean, the valve cover and coil on plug plate combo, I think is like $650 on the website. So maybe some of you like that type of texture, if you will, that finish. It's kind of like a diamond finish on here, on the coil on plug plate. If you like that type of finish texturing, and or if you don't mind it at all, then this is cool. It's pretty cool. I don't really mind it. I kind of like it. So I'm going to take I think I'm going to take the old valve cover off, and we'll do a dry fit with this one and see how everything lines up. Well, that's a bit of a disappointment. So the ARP bolts are hitting the underside, more so on this side than the driver's side. It sits low here on the driver's side like it's supposed to, but not over here. All the holes line up though. So I'm wondering if you are not able to use the ARP cam cap bolts when you're using this. Because they do sit taller than the stock ones, I believe. So you can see where the oil is, that's where it's hitting. So maybe I will try switching out to stock camcat bolts. And we'll see if it sits flat. I mean, aside from that, it looks good. I like it. Well, there you go. That's what you can expect from a CNC Innovations valve cover, I guess. It don't fit. Maybe I'll shoot them an email and see what their advice is. I'm willing to bet they're going to tell me to run the stock bolts or a low profile head bolt, but I'll try to swap out for the stock ones and see if it fits better. Alright, so I just took the baffle plate out just to see if that's going to help at all. I don't think it is. You can see the bolt hits right here on the plate, which is right about here. So I still think it's gonna hit there. But I took all the bolts out. They don't come with any Loctite on them, so that's good. And they were also missing one. Just missing bolt right here. So I'll give this a shot. See how this fits. It actually does sit where it's supposed to now, without the baffle. And once the gasket is in there, it won't actually sit this low. It won't be able to compress the gasket that much. So it will clear now. It will clear the ARP camcat bolts in there. I'm not running the vents anywhere on top anyway, so I'm probably just not gonna run the baffle plate, as I really don't need it. I've got a Kigley HLA in the head to limit the oil going to the head anyway, so I've been running without a baffle plate on the previous setup as well, and haven't had any issues. I also vent the engine from the back here on the back of the block, and I don't push too much oil out of there. Those are 2-12 fittings, I think. Go into my catch can under there. So yeah, if you don't need to run the baffle plate, it fits just fine. If you do need to run the baffle plate, you probably have to run a lower profile head camcat bolt. Not that big a deal. Not the end of the world. Just something to note. And here we are with the R35 coils mounted. Did have to shave a little bit here to clear that. Not a big deal. You can see the little slot here. I'll be able to tuck the wires for each one underneath and then run a single small harness out the back there. I like how all of them are facing the same direction. My OCD likes that very much. I actually had to remove the stocks on them. I think I'm gonna have to run a full rubber stock. I don't know, I'm still trying to figure that out, but the tip of the stock here did not want to fit over the spark plug. Also, smart coils, or R35 coils at least, are fused, I guess. That's new to me. I learned something today. So if anybody knows, if anybody has this set up already with the R35 coils and this CNC Innovations valve cover and plate, specifically because that sets the height of the coils away from the plug. So if you have this set up and you are running it, if you can let me know what you're using for the stocks, if you're using the rubber ones or different length plastic ones, let me know. I bought these from a company in Australia, made in Japan, authentic Hitachi part numbers. Very nice. And the frontline valve cover is for sale. If you're interested, shoot me a message. Frontline Fab version 1 dry sump valve cover with coil unplug plate for 300M coils and candy red powder coat. Let me know.